When Prince Harry released his memoir Spare, it immediately became a global bestseller. The book pulled no punches, revealing deeply personal stories, childhood grief, military experiences, reckless youthful mistakes, and explosive details about conflicts with William, Charles, and Camilla. For centuries, the British monarchy had maintained a code of silence, carefully shielding internal struggles from public view. Harry shattered that tradition in one stroke. To some, he was finally speaking his truth and liberating himself from a suffocating institution. To others, he had crossed an unforgivable line, betraying his family for profit. Spare became more than a book, it was a cultural earthquake that redefined Harry's role as the outspoken royal rebel. After Spare, relations between Harry and the royal family deteriorated even further. Reports suggested that William and Charles cut off most direct communication, limiting contact only to necessary public appearances. Buckingham Palace maintained its signature silence, refusing to comment on Harry's revelations. But that silence only intensified global interest. Every glimpse of Harry alongside his family, from Queen Elizabeth II's funeral to King Charles's coronation, was dissected by the media. The icy body language and distant gazes told a story louder than words. Reconciliation was far from reach. The royal rift had grown into one of the most dramatic family feuds in modern history. Even after stepping away, Meghan Markle remained one of the world's most polarizing figures. Supporters hailed her as a symbol of courage, someone who dared to confront racism and archaic royal traditions. Critics, however, painted her as outsider who divided the monarchy and manipulated Harry. The stark divide in public opinion turned Meghan into both an icon and a villain, depending on who you asked. No matter how hard she tried to focus on philanthropy or motherhood, she remained locked in the global spotlight. Meghan's image reflected a larger cultural clash between old-world monarchy and modern values of independence, diversity, and self-expression. Amid the controversies, one project consistently reminded the world of Harry's compassion: the Invictus Games. Founded in 2014, this international sporting event for wounded veterans became Harry's proudest achievement. Through Invictus, Harry redefined his role, not as a soldier prince or celebrity, but as a champion for resilience and healing. Veterans and their families praised him for creating a platform that honored sacrifice with dignity. Even critics admitted Invictus was a genuine legacy that no scandal could erase. While his reputation swung wildly elsewhere, Invictus stood as proof that Harry could channel pain into purpose, carving out a legacy far bigger than tabloid headlines. In Britain, Harry's image grew increasingly complicated. Many traditional royal supporters saw him as a traitor, someone who abandoned his homeland and cashed in on royal privilege. Yet among younger generations, Harry became a hero, a man who dared to walk away from a rigid, outdated system. Polls revealed a sharp generational divide, with older Britons disapproving while younger voices admired his courage. Harry had become a mirror reflecting Britain's own shifting views of monarchy. Was the crown a sacred institution to be protected at all costs, or a burden that no longer fit a modern world? Harry's story forced that uncomfortable debate. In the United States, Harry and Meghan initially enjoyed a hero's welcome. They were embraced by Hollywood, applauded on talk shows, and treated like global stars. But over time, the honeymoon faded. Some U.S. media outlets began labeling them as serial complainers, questioning whether they were overexposing their struggles. Still, their celebrity remained undeniable. They continued to attend high-profile events, land interviews, and make headlines worldwide. In America, they were no longer bound by royal protocol, but they were judged by a new set of rules: the harsh, ever-shifting standards of fame. For Harry and Meghan, freedom came at the price of constant reinvention. Harry and Meghan's children, Archie and Lilibet, now sit at the heart of their choices. The couple has made it clear that protecting their children's privacy is a top priority. But with royal blood and global fascination, it remains uncertain whether the children can ever truly escape the spotlight. Will they grow up as ordinary American kids, or be drawn into the same royal drama their parents tried to escape? Harry often speaks of breaking generational cycles, determined to give his children the childhood he never had. Their story may ultimately define whether Harry and Meghan's gamble was worth the price. Harry and Meghan may no longer be working royals, but they have redefined what it means to carry a royal brand. Through media deals, charity initiatives, and high-profile appearances, they have become something entirely new, royal influences. They wield the prestige of monarchy without the restrictions of palace duty, using their titles to amplify causes and stories they choose. It is a groundbreaking shift, turning royalty into a hybrid of activism and celebrity culture. For better or worse, Harry and Meghan are pioneers of this modern royal model, blending crown and commerce in ways never seen before. The biggest challenge for Harry and Meghan is sustainability. Contracts can end, public interest can fade, and scandals can backfire. The cancellation of certain projects and the early termination of their Spotify deal were warning signs. Fame, unlike royal duty, is fragile, it must be constantly renewed. If they fail to adapt, they risk becoming caricatures of drama rather than changemakers. Yet, with their charisma and global platform, they also have the tools to shape narratives for decades. The question is whether they can transition from controversial figures to respected voices with lasting influence. The story of Harry and Meghan remains unfinished. They stepped away from the crown, yet the shadow of the monarchy continues to follow them across the Atlantic. Every move they make, every word they speak, tests the resilience of both their love and the monarchy itself. Will history remember them as brave reformers, or as runaways who couldn't escape their past? Their journey embodies the clash between tradition and modernity, duty and freedom, silence and truth. One thing is certain, the saga of Harry and Meghan is not over. The world will keep watching, waiting for the next chapter to unfold.